So FM26 is out, or the beta at least. And if you follow the channel, you would have seen that I streamed it, and I released a stream on the YouTube channel as well. I streamed it on Twitch, released it on YouTube, and whatnot. And going in, I was very excited. Especially because we've been starved for about a year of no FM. And, I was starting to lose my mind, all these tactics, this, that were going through my head. I'm like, I can't go back to FM24 now, seeing the trailer of FM26, right? So yeah, I was very excited. But I noticed there's a lot of discussions now about FM26 and what's wrong with it. The main thing being the UI, right? Now, this is my opinion. This is coming from someone that wasn't an all-time, wasn't a FM player for a very long time gone back. So adjusting to the UI for me is not much of a problem. However, the first FM game that I started was FM24, right? And I did start to get used to it already a little bit. And I can see, after many years of people playing and getting used to that UI, the new UI being the problem, right? Or one of them, as you say. Now the thing is, of course, don't get me wrong, I can understand, and the graphics is that it does look cleaner. However, my biggest issue with the game is that I think is very important for a football manager game, and it's not the UI. Okay, I definitely think it's the physics and the animation, the ball physics, the players' physics, animations, so on, so on. When you watch a real football match and then you go into FM24, you see it's just a bit like it's not fluid enough. And I feel like with the new engine and, late 2025, I feel like this is something that's not possible. This is not something that's impossible to do, right? When there is let me explain why. When you have all these realistic physics, animations, movements, and the ball being able to go wherever, players can kick wherever. Don't get me wrong, it's a huge step forward from FM24. But it's just for a football manager game, it's not at that level. It's not there. The thing is, when these physics and animations are in place and they're actually in the game, then that's when your tactics work. When you win games, it's more satisfying because you know that the animations, the movements, the physics, anything can happen. It's like a sandbox, right? And if you win the games, that's when that's when your tactics work, and it's more satisfying. I don't know why I zoomed out just then. Some people are saying to me that this is not important, but I think as a real football fan, I think this is something that should be very, thought about. However, with the UI, I honestly really like the clean, purpley, pinkish, neonish look. The style is nice, and I can definitely see that it has been catered towards console players. That's quite obvious. And I also felt like, aside from, the main issue for me is the physics, right? The physics animations. I want to be able to feel like I'm actually watching a real match, okay? Or something very close to it. Very, very close to it. In FM24, the positives were, when you looked at the stadiums, it had soul. You could feel that. It had soul. And I feel like this one's a little bit soulless. It feels a little bit soulless, okay? And it's not far off for the game to release as well. So I hope they fix these things. I really hope they do, because I think these are things that are very important. For a football manager game, I think it's very, very important, and it should definitely be considered. Shouts. Where's my shouts? I want to be able to shout at my players. That's a part of the immersion of being a football manager. I don't know why shouts were removed. With the women's football bullshit, excuse my language, but I don't think 95% of people don't care about women's football. I feel like that energy should have been used to further develop the game. Especially these football animations and the ball physics and all these things, anything could happen. It should have been like that. I feel like anything could have been able to happen, especially with this new engine, reworked engine, and so on, so on. I remember in FM24, one of the things that really bugged me was making me very fixated was just the players were always doing the same shit, and it's like it was just not realistic. And I know what you guys are going to say. You're going to say, go simulate FIFA or something. But it's not the same thing, man. It's just not the same thing. It's nowhere near as in depth. It's just not it. That completely different game. All right, it's not made for that thing. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. There's a huge improvement. Okay, there's a huge, big improvement. In terms of the match engine, all that. There's a big improvement, but I think it should definitely be at that level by now. It's almost like the 3D match engine. It's almost like a sandbox. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. That's my biggest issue with the game at the moment. Other than that, I also see people talking a lot about the I think that goes into UI as well. How they can't allocate their trainings. They can't organize their training matches. Sorry, their friendlies and all that, all the training as well. Now I actually kind of had that issue as well. I think I just delegated it straight to assistant coach. Not just because I don't remember if it's because I couldn't find it or if it's because I've never been good at, I'm not sure. I've never been really good at organizing trainings anyway. However, yeah. I did also pick up on someone saying it's very zoomed in. I did say that as well. I did play around with the cameras and the custom cameras, that vertical broadcast, yada yada yada. I do feel like it's also very zoomed in, and it's something that definitely is. I feel like it's catered towards console, so it's a little bit obvious. But yeah, that's my main concerns. If I don't know, let me know what you guys think, because I definitely think these should be considered before Football Manager 26 fully releases. The 3D match engine, it needs to be more fluid. Has to be more fluid. It can't be like this. It feels a bit choppy. It's definitely a big step, but it should be at that sandboxy, I don't even know if I'm using the right term. It should be at that sandboxy level by now. Especially after many years of having Football Manager games. But yeah, shouts need to come back. I don't know why shouts are removed. Doesn't make any sense. I don't think anybody said to remove shouts, even the people that don't use it. But I know a chunk of people did use it. I was one of them, and it was a big part of the immersion. So, but yeah, just let me know what you guys think as well. Let me know what your experience is. And yeah, this is just my opinion. I think these things are very crucial to this FM26 if it's going to be successful. These are things to consider. Developers should definitely consider these things. And yeah, so I'll definitely still be posting. I'm still going to be posting, FM26 tactics, whatnot, and the pre-seasons. I started the career off with Fenerbahce, with a very in-depth squad. And yeah, so yeah, that's about it for my pep talk for now. I just thought I'd put my 2 cents in. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time whenever you's back onto, you can join the stream whenever you want. Get on back onto the streams. And yeah, that's about it.